He stood there, frozen, his hands trembling as the cashier said the words that shattered him. "Sir, your card has been declined." The little girl beside him, clutching a tiny balloon, looked up and whispered, "Daddy, does that mean—" "No cake?" No one in the bakery said a word. The air went still. But among the quiet crowd, one woman, a stranger, was watching. A woman who, in just a few moments, would do something that would shock everyone and change their lives forever. Before we dive into this emotional journey, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Hopeful Stories, where every story reminds us that kindness still exists and hope can rise from anywhere. You won't believe how this one ends. It was one of those gray, drizzly afternoons where the world feels heavy. Inside Sweet Haven Bakery, the smell of vanilla and warm bread floated through the air as people chatted, laughed, and picked up cakes for their loved ones. Then the door opened, and in walked Tom, a tired man in his late 30s, his work uniform still stained with grease from the auto repair shop. Holding his hand was his 6-year-old daughter, Lila, wearing a second-hand pink dress and clutching a little paper crown. "Daddy, today's my birthday," she whispered with joy. Her eyes sparkled like the candles she hoped to blow out later. Tom smiled weakly and nodded. "That's right, sweetheart. And we're going to get you the best cake in town." They approached the counter, and Tom pointed to a small chocolate cake topped with rainbow sprinkles. Simple, but magical to a child. "That one, please," he said softly. The cashier rang it up. "That'll be $32. Tom hesitated. 32. He knew he didn't have that much. He had exactly 28 crumpled dollars in his wallet, the leftovers from his week's pay after rent, bills, and groceries. His heart sank. He'd miscalculated. "Could you maybe remove some of the decorations?" he asked, embarrassed. The cashier frowned. "I'm sorry, sir. That's the smallest size we have." Lila looked up, still smiling, unaware of her father's silent panic. "Daddy, it's so pretty. Can we get it?" Tom's throat tightened. He wanted to say yes. He wanted to give her the world. But the truth hit him like a punch. He couldn't even afford a cake. After a long pause, his voice broke. "I'm sorry, honey. We can't get it today." The cashier looked away awkwardly as Tom whispered, "Please cancel the order." He took Lila's small hand and turned to leave. Her balloon trailed behind her, bumping sadly against the floor. And that's when it happened. From the corner of the bakery, a woman in a navy blue coat spoke up. "Excuse me," she said gently. "Did I hear that you were canceling the cake?" Tom froze, not sure how to respond. The woman stepped forward, tall, confident, but with kind eyes. "Please, let me buy it for her." He immediately shook his head. "No, ma'am, I can't accept that." "We're fine." The woman smiled softly. "I insist." Before Tom could argue, she handed her card to the cashier and said, "Ring it up." Lila's eyes lit up as she clapped her hands. "Daddy, she's buying my cake!" Tom felt his pride crumble under the weight of her joy. He wanted to protest, but something in the woman's gaze told him this wasn't pity. It was understanding. When the purchase was done, the woman crouched to Lila's level and said, "Happy birthday, sweetheart. Every princess deserves her cake." Tom thanked her quietly, still dazed. "You didn't have to do that," he murmured. "I know," she replied, "but I wanted to." Then she smiled and walked away. What Tom didn't know was who she really was, and what she planned to do next would leave him speechless. If this story already touched your heart, please like this video and subscribe to Hopeful Stories. Chapter 2 will reveal how one small act of kindness turned into something that changed everything. The next morning, Tom went back to work at the auto shop. He was still thinking about that woman. He hadn't even caught her name. All he knew was that his daughter had gone to bed that night, beaming, hugging her cake box like a treasure chest. Then, around noon, a sleek black car pulled up outside the shop. Everyone turned to stare. Out stepped the same woman, this time dressed in an elegant suit. Tom's eyes widened. "Miss Shaw?" one of the employees whispered. "That's Amelia Shaw, the CEO of Shaw Tech." Tom's mouth fell open. The woman who bought his daughter's cake. was one of the most powerful business leaders in the city. "Tom," she said warmly as she approached him, "can we talk for a minute?" He wiped his hands nervously. "Of course, ma'am. Thank you again for what you did yesterday." "You didn't have to—" Amelia held up a hand. "Please, don't thank me." "I didn't do enough." Tom frowned, confused. "What do you mean?" She smiled. "You reminded me of something I'd forgotten. What real strength looks like. I saw a father who would give anything to make his child smile. That kind of love is rare." Then she handed him an envelope. "I want to offer you a position in our company's maintenance department. Full benefits, steady hours, and better pay. You deserve a chance to breathe, Tom." He stared at her in disbelief. You don't even know me." Amelia nodded. "I didn't have to. I saw enough." For a moment, Tom couldn't speak. His vision blurred as tears filled his eyes. He shook his head slowly. "You don't understand. This will change everything for us." Amelia smiled gently. "That's the point." Over the next few months, Tom began working at Shaw Tech. His life started to shift. He could finally pay his bills, buy Lila school supplies, and even start saving. Amelia often stopped by to check in, and each time she saw them, her heart swelled with pride. Then, a year later, something incredible happened. On Lila's 7th birthday, Tom invited Amelia to their small celebration. When she arrived, she found Lila standing proudly beside a beautiful cake, the exact same one from that rainy day, rainbow sprinkles and all. Lila ran up and hugged her. "Miss Amelia, Daddy says you gave me my first cake, so this one's for you." Amelia knelt down, tears in her eyes. "Sweetheart, you gave me something even better, a reminder of what kindness can do." As everyone laughed and sang, Amelia looked around the room, a humble home filled with love, warmth, and gratitude. In that moment, she realized something profound. Success means nothing if you forget where you came from and who you can lift along the way. The next morning, Amelia started a company program called the Little Joys Fund, providing support for struggling single parents. And it all began with a cake, one small act that grew into a wave of hope. Sometimes the most powerful stories don't start in boardrooms or headlines. They start in quiet bakeries and tired hands, and in the eyes of a child who just wanted a birthday cake. If this story touched your heart, please like this video and subscribe to Hopeful Stories. Your support helps us share more inspiring tales of kindness, love, and hope that prove one thing: no act of goodness ever goes unnoticed. Because in a world that can feel cold, stories like this remind us that light still exists. Would you like me to format this next into a ready-to-use YouTube script with pacing, narration cues, and background music directions for voiceover? It'll make it production ready for your channel.